Thank you for choosing to listen to our episode. This is a trigger warning for later in the episode while talking about the song All the Girls Love Alice, which deals with the ideas and thoughts around murder and suicide. We do talk about the topic. So, this is just a trigger warning for you for the future of this episode. We hope you enjoy the episode and thank you for listening.
This is the Hypothetically Sound podcast,
hosted by Alec, Randy, and Xavier,
where we take a hypothetical look at the world around us,
exploring the what ifs, maybes, and how comes.
Join in on the unfiltered, raw, and real conversations
as we explore the world around us. Welcome back to Hypothetically Sound. We hope you are having a great day. As always, I am one of your hosts, Randy, joined by the other host, Alec.
That's me.
And we are continuing our journey on Apple Music's top 100 albums of all time. Today, we are on number 78, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road by Elton John.
Hell yeah.
Honestly, I don't think anybody doesn't know who Elton John is, but Alec, what is your thoughts on Elton John before we get into the album?
He is a very influential legend in the music, probably, if not the best-selling artist of all time.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure he has some sort of record like that. I don't know. He's a legend. Dude. Like,
yeah.
Everyone knows who he is.
His music definitely influenced a lot of other artists in the future. His ability to sing and create melody and just create hooks, for lack of a better word, is amazing. It's unparalleled. For you guys at home who may be lacking on your knowledge of Elton John, don't worry. As always, I have you. As we said, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road is the album. It is his 7th studio album. He is an English singer, pianist, and composer. This album was released in October of 1973 as a double album. He recorded it at a studio in France. And that's when they decided to make it a double LP, just because they were inspired by the people of France. Among the 17 tracks on this album, it contains Candle in the Wind, Benny and the Jets, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, Saturday's All Right for Fighting, just a lot of great music. Clearly, this album was a commercial success. It reached number 1 on Billboard's Top 200. It sold more than 20 million copies worldwide and is widely regarded as John Elton's magnum opus. It was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame in 2003 and clearly is on everybody's top 100 list of all time. It's a fantastic album.
Yeah, it's just really good.
And before we get into it, I just didn't realize how much I actually enjoy Elton John's music. Like, I know his music, I know I like it. Listening to a full album, I'm like, okay, I got to see more of Elton John, more of his nuances that you don't see if you just listen to his hits.
Yeah, it was interesting to explore a full Elton John project. I've never done it, obviously, but damn, Elton John's just good, dude. It's just good music.
Yeah. So as we said, this is a 17-track album. What was it, like an hour and a half long?
Yeah, hour and 16 minutes.
Hour and 16 minutes long. And so it was a good listen. And we're going to get into it, starting with... Oh, sorry. What?
Sorry. Last episode, we did Lana Del Rey, right?
Yeah.
And we actually did that, like, quite literally yesterday. We recorded it as of, like, right now. It's the 29th of August. And I was on TikTok last night before bed, or I guess this morning, and I saw a TikTok of Lana is now dating a new man. But the thing is that the daughter of said man found out about it through social media.
Ooh.
So yeah, she found out that her dad is dating Lana Del Rey.
That's wild.
Through social media, and apparently when she confronted her dad about it, he was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you." But he's a recent divorcee, and it's just a big drama of the family now. I think it's kind of funny. Like, imagine just like you're scrolling, and all of a sudden you see Pops with They weren't even making out. It was just a basic picture. It was like, oh, this was apparently Lana's new man, Jeffrey. That was it. That's all it was. And I was like, wait. But like, could you imagine like just scrolling and all of a sudden you see like Yo Pops dating someone super famous?
It'd be wild.
Randomly? I mean, for us, yeah, for sure.
I think for anybody, even a famous person, probably still wild. Like just them not telling you. It's the wild part.
I think, yeah. Apparently he's an alligator toursman.
That's
I don't know. It's hella cool.
insane.
Yeah, I don't know how he met Lana Del Rey. Like,
Someone probably
imagine.
took his tour and was famous and hooked him up.
Maybe. Connections, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry about that. I just thought I would bring it up since it was somewhat relevant to our stuff.
Yeah, no,
Now we can get into the Goodbye to Yellow Brick Road.
Yeah, track number 1, Funeral for a Friend and Love Lies Bleeding is a double song on the first song. What did you think?
Long.
It is 11-minute song. It is an 11-minute song.
Yeah, it's very long. But with that being said, when you start listening to it, it has some like synths and stuff in the beginning, and it makes it feel like something epic's coming.
Yeah.
And then it slowly just kind of like dies down. And you start getting the piano rockish sound that Elton's known for, from his hits.
Yeah.
And you go a good almost 6 minutes of this track, and not a single word is spoken. It is just straight beat.
Yeah, and it's fantastic.
It is really good.
Utterly fantastic.
Yeah, it is a really good instrumental. And you're just like vibing, and bam! Elton comes out of nowhere. Oh, my like people out there.
To go back to Lana Del Rey, because we just talked about it, she had a 9-minute song on hers. And in the notes, we both said there's a point where it is just the same like instrumental with some random words. She wasn't really telling a story. There wasn't any real influx in the instrumental portion. That is not true with this. Like Funeral for a Friend is a story in its instrumental. It is fantastic. It changes its pace, it slows down, speeds up, draws you in, and makes sure to keep you engaged in his music. And that's what Elton John does amazingly well, is keeping you engaged.
Yeah. And like when he comes in vocally on the song, he rides it, dude. He improves the song so much to the point where you almost forget that he wasn't singing up until that point.
One thing I did say with Elton John, and it's always been this way for me, and it's a lot of singers at certain points, like Ariana Grande, they stop articulating words. And so thank God for lyrics as I was listening, because there are words that I just miss with Elton John, be it because of his British accent plus him just not articulating words. They get like jumbled together. So thank God for the lyrics on the screen as I'm listening to the music. Last thing I want to talk about with the song is, if you listen to it at the 5-minute mark, the guitar, whoever the guitarist is, and Elton John on the piano have like a little mini battle, and it's amazing and it's great.
Yeah, creatively, it's just a fantastic song. Totally worth the 11 minutes, honestly. Oh, yeah. Like I said, there's not a lot of like super long songs that I'll mess with. This is one of them.
I give it an 8.5 out of 10.
I gave it a 9 out of 10.
Deserves it. And
which moves on to the next. Which moves on to the next song, which is "Candle in the Wind."
Yeah, everybody knows it. Interesting thing about "Candle in the Wind," this version is written about, the one we listen is written about Marilyn Monroe, and everything that she went through, even in her life and even after. It was rewritten in 1997 for Princess Diana of Wales.
Yeah, apparently this was one of her favorite songs. Like, this version is one of her favorite songs while she was alive. Which is kind of ironic and scary.
Yeah.
So, that was a good fun fact.
Yeah. I found it really interesting. Like, the whole, everything around Princess Diana is sad. Like, if you're a conspiracy guy or girl, like, it's even more sad for you. But it's a great song. It's hauntingly beautiful.
Yeah, it is definitely a much slower pace song to come right after that first one. But it is just a memorial song. It's well written. and it just sounds smooth.
Yeah. And going back to what I was saying about Elton John being able to do hooks, his choruses are very minimal usually. Uh, and like in this one, it's very minimal. It's like a few lines, and then he gets back into a new verse. But just the way he says, like a candle in the wind, just that line, how he does it with the music and how he says it, hooks you every time. And he has that in almost every song. He has a line or a phrase that he sings in a different way that, like, you're waiting for it. You want it to come back again.
Mm. But yeah, overall, I think it's a very good song.
Yeah,
Very worth the listen. I gave it a 7.5 out of 10.
I gave it an 8 out of 10,
Okay. Okay.
which moves us to probably one of his bigger hits on the album,
Mhm.
Benny and the Jets, track
Yeah.
3.
Yeah. When this bad boy starts, I'm sure I was like, oh yeah, it's this song.
Yeah, it's
And
iconic.
then just the intro riff is
Mhm,
in chords are very reminiscent of a lot of songs. It's
mhm.
sampled a bunch, I bet.
Yeah,
Um yeah, it's a good song and the piano goes hard, man.
yeah, and again, it come like I was saying with the candle in the wind, the way he says, "I read it in a magazine," chef's kiss. It perfectly makes a song just that good.
Hmm. Also, fun fact for you, Ran.
Mhm.
We heard a song on this Apple's list already from Solange, where she interpolates it's I can't say the word. I'm illiterate. Anyways, um, yeah, it is. Where do we go? She uses the song.
Oh, okay. I might
Yeah.
listen to it after, like I've done in the past. Uh, and you were right, by the way. On Lana Del Rey, yeah, she did it better.
Okay. Yeah, I told you.
But yeah, no, it's a great song. And this is the thing, like so many hits on this album that people know they are iconic hits. So there's not much we could say that you haven't heard about the song or you don't think about the song yourself. I gave it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I ended up giving it an 8.5 out of 10.
Fair, fair.
Yes,
We're
I
pretty
think
close
so.
on our ratings.
Yeah.
Which moves us to the namesake track on the album, track number 4, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road.
Yeah, man, it's an absolute classic.
Mhm.
Even if you don't think you've heard it, you probably have.
Yeah.
It's like one of those songs, right? It goes hard. The refrain is enchanting before hitting the chorus. The chorus is good. It draws you in, and you want more by the time it's done. Honestly, because
Mhm.
it is one of the shorter songs on the track
Mhm.
or on the album. I gave this a 9 out of 10.
Fair. He has unforgettable moments, and I've said this every song. It's just what he has moments, and it's unlike any artist I've ever experienced because they're so small, but they have such a huge impact on the song and how you feel about the song. And it's the same with this song. I give it an 8 out of 10. I do like the song. I just like Benny and the Jets better.
That's fair. That's fair. One thing I leading up to this,
Mhm.
Elton John's sound, dude, is so fucking good to just
Yeah.
like hear.
Mhm.
Like that shit, like it scratches every itch in your brain. In my opinion, it is just they're just so good.
Yeah. 100%. I agree. Which moves us to track 5. This song has no title. Um, I felt like this song was on the cusp of going full throttle the whole time. Kind of like you were talking about on the Lana Del. We keep going back because it just fits. With Lana Del Rey, like she was kind of like blue balls in you on a bunch of songs.
Hmm.
This is what that song did for me. I was wait. It has that like build to it, and then it just hits the plateau and doesn't like go over. And I needed it to. Uh, Go ahead. Sorry.
See, this is no, it's good. This is weird because this song was actually 100% done by Elton John. He didn't
Mm,
have his writing partner. He didn't have a produce. It was all Elton John.
okay.
All the noises you hear, including the flute sound, are different pianos that he played to make the instrumental. He wrote it himself. Everything was him.
Oh, okay.
It is the shortest song on the album, I believe.
Hmm.
So I thought it was a quick and easy listen,
Yeah.
but you are correct. It didn't really meet the standard of the other songs up to this point.
Yeah, and it's like you said, it's a good song, and he's obviously very talented. It just it missed someone else tuning in and going, "Hey, Elton, this is what you need to finish it."
And like honestly, like he didn't even give it an actual title.
Yeah.
So I wonder if like this was just him experimenting and letting it flow to see if he can do it. And
Hmm.
like the answer is maybe.
Yeah.
Like if this was just, I don't know if this is his first time doing it or the only time he does it, and like I'm sure it's not.
Hmm.
But like he went at it, he did decent. Like I gave it a 6.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
But again, you're following like at the lowest to this point was 7.5 for me. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. This is a 6 for me,
Yeah, I mean we're
and it's
still
not my
very
lowest. We're getting close to my lowest. But yeah, 6. It was still a good song. It just like I wanted it. I wanted it to go to the next level, and it didn't.
it is tied for lowest for me.
Fair.
But it's still a decent, like it's still decent.
Yeah.
I
Then we. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna transition because I was last to talk, but you know what? I'll do it anyways.
Yeah.
Next is Gray Seal.
Yeah.
Um, one thing Elton John does is do instrumental intros real good,
Hmm.
and he get you in the mood of the song real quick within like 10 seconds.
Yeah. The fast piano intro, fantastic.
Like I don't understand how he do it, like because there's other songs on this album that are happy, sad, ominous, tragic. Like it doesn't matter. Within 10
Mhm.
seconds, you know the vibe.
And he's playing 2 different types of pianos, 3 types of pianos in the song. He's playing the Mellotron, the Fender Rhodes, and an acoustic guitar or piano in it. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know, man. He kind of crazy and scary.
Hmm.
I know he popular with everybody because he probably good with his hands like that
Yeah.
in like all aspects of life.
Hmm.
But like, damn, bro. Um, especially after the song has no title. This one just like again just goes hard. It gets you kind of moving.
Hmm. He does so many pace changes
Mm,
in all of his songs, but specifically this one. And they keep you into the song. And I think that's what makes Elton John so special. It's easy to have good lyrics, to sound good, and even just have a good instrumental, but it is your job as an artist to keep your listeners engaged, and Elton John does it fantastically.
yeah. It's definitely an art to master that like
Mhm,
to have such a variety of like tempos and switches in your song to
mhm.
make it sound good, keep it engaging, and not like throw people off.
Yeah.
It's not like hip hop where you can just like completely switch the
Mhm.
beat 100%. Like
Yeah.
this is rock. It's way different,
Mhm.
way harder to like pull off a transition. And he just
Yeah.
does it like it's second nature.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I gave this a 7 out of 10.
I also gave it a 7 out of 10,
Hell yeah.
and this moves us to
I hate this song.
my least favorite track on the album,
I hate the name of it so much.
Jamaica Jerk Off.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Interesting fact about this. The reason this is named that, and the original concept for the album was to record the entire thing in Jamaica. And they actually did go to Jamaica to record. They were there for like a week or two, and just too much stuff was happening in Jamaica. I don't remember everything what it was, but there was like some kind of like military things going on. I think there was like some kind of soccer game. No, no, oh sorry. It was a boxing match. It was the Rumble in the Jungle.
Mm.
It was during the same time. I believe it was Rumble in the Jungle. Whatever the big boxing match that happened in Jamaica in the 70s. Was during the time, and they couldn't get work done, and so they moved to France where he had recorded a previous album and then recorded all of the albums. So no tracks actually were made officially in Jamaica. This one I think was made in Jamaica, and then they redid it in France.
Okay.
So yeah, interesting fact about the song and why it's there and what his original plan was.
yeah. I don't know, man. The title of the song kind of put me off,
Hmm.
knowing what I know about Elton. I wasn't sure what I was walking into. He was just talking about like the dancer jerk, kind of.
Yeah.
But like you never know.
Hmm.
He's not
And
shy with the topic.
yeah, and as me and you talked about a little outside of the podcast, and I've said this on other ones, I am not a fan of when people take cultural sounds and then try to twist it to their benefit. And like there's playing homage, but if you want to do like if you want to make a Caribbean sound, get Caribbean artists. Work with a Caribbean producer. So I've just never been a fan of people who take sounds and cultural music and then try to make it into when you don't do it. It's weird to me. Who was it? It was Dust in the Wind or one of the albums. I think it was like 90. I can't remember who it was. He had a song that was similar, and I was happy that it didn't completely uh sound like he was snatching. Unfortunately for Elton John, I believe it sounded like he was snatching the culture, and I gave it a 5 out of 10.
I think you're just sensitive. There was parts of it where he did sound like he was trying to go for a Jamaican accent. It was mostly in the chorus, and so like you're gonna hear
Mhm.
it 4 times.
Yeah.
But like it sounded like he went for it for a second and then like snapped back to
Hmm.
me. I don't think he was trying to like rip from it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I just gave it a 6.5 out of 10. It's just kind of a weird song, a weird vibe to it.
Hmm.
It's not bad, but it's not really good. It's probably my least favorite.
Yeah. Same. Which moves us to track number 8. I've seen that movie too. Um, I thought it had a nice, slower, old school movie sound. Like I kind of
Yeah, that's what I put.
reminded me of black and white movies,
Hmm.
which another interesting fact note when you read the lyrics off of Genius. This inspired the Mystery Movie Theater, the show.
Yeah.
That's this song inspired that show.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's interesting.
Hmm.
That's kind of weird, actually. That's interesting and weird. How the fuck does a 5-minute song inspire a whole goddamn show, bro?
I don't know.
Like, I don't
And
understand that kind of artistry.
this information is coming from Genius, so if I'm wrong, it's because Genius is wrong.
I'm not saying even if you're wrong, I'm just confused.
Hmm.
Inspiration, takes forms in all things. I don't fully get it, and I do art and shit, and I don't
Hmm.
like go outside, see a cloud, and go like, oh yeah, I'm fucking drawing a warrior frog beating the shit out of a dragon, but it's not really a dragon. It's
Hmm.
like Mike Tyson dressed up as a dragon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But some motherfuckers be like drinking water and look in their cup and see a speck and be like, oh, Picasso.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
No, I agree.
But yeah, I also put that this has a very old timey movie feel to it. And like the lyrics fit that really, really good. It's kind of like almost a suspenseful protagonist under realizing the real of his situation or something, and it's
Hmm.
done getting played like kind of like mid climax ish of a movie. That was really good. Piano carries
Yeah.
100%, 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I gave it a 8 out of 10.
Okay. Awkward Turtle.
Awkward
Next
Turtle. Hmm.
next one is the Sweet Painted Lady.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about it?
I thought it was another good slow song.
Okay.
It had interesting sound to me.
Hmm.
Like it was a little different than what was on the album. Not hugely different. It had enough different sounds into it to make it different and not be the
Hmm.
same like I've clip playing the other artists having.
Yeah. Did you know it was about prostitution?
I did not. I did
Yeah,
not read
well, it
that part.
was, I think. It sounded like it was about prostitution. And so I believe it is because it's Elton John and he doesn't shy away from topics like this,
Yeah.
as we'll get in a minute. But yeah, it does sound good. It has this like delicate and fancy sound to it.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I guess it's about a call girl, so like makes sense. 7 out of
Yeah.
10.
Yeah. I also gave it a 6. No, I gave it 6 out of 10, not 7 out of 10. Sorry,
Okay,
I was
that's
looking at the
weird.
wrong song.
You were. Next we go to the Ballad of Danny Bailey.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like I mentioned earlier, this is the more ominous types. Like you instantly get like this like sense of tragedy
Yeah,
off of his intro. And it is like almost a shock factor because you go from like this more delicate sounding song to this ominous song about Danny Bailey.
yeah, I agree. I said I felt like I was listening to a movie. If that like between the story and the sound, it felt very cinematic.
Mm.
And it's just he does a good job in these types of songs. He has a few of them on this album, and I enjoy them.
Yeah. For those who don't know, I believe this one was about a man who was trying to be famous and going through the struggle of it,
Mhm.
and mostly the bad struggle of it. So,
Yeah,
yeah, very, very good storytelling song. I gave it 8 out of 10.
I gave it a 7 out of 10.
All right. And then, moving on to next is Dirty Little Girl. And that sounds really weird. And when you
Mhm.
listen to the lyrics, it's kind of fucking weird
Yeah,
until you realize it's still a little weird after you realize, but it is literally about a filthy individual, like
yeah.
someone who needs a bath.
Hmm.
It's
So
not,
weird.
yeah, it is still very weird because I'm pretty sure it's about a child who needs a bath, like an abandoned child or something.
Yeah,
And it makes you feel like Elton is the one who found her and was like, "Oh, you're a dirty little girl. We're gonna wash you up."
I'm
And it
not
was
gonna
like,
lie. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, it's like, man, is this about like, what is this about? And then you read the lyrics and you're like, yo, this is might literally be about just a child who needs a bath.
Like, yeah, it seems that way if you don't lump it in with the next 2 tracks.
Yeah,
Uh, it,
which we don't.
uh, and I didn't even think about it after. Like, I linked the 2 tracks after together, but I didn't even think about it in this one because I was just kind of weirded out by it a little bit. But super aggressive lyrics. Like he says, "Grab the bitch by the ears and scrub her down because she hasn't bathed in a year." So yeah, it sounds like he's just talking about someone who's dirty that's been out and does things, and like maybe she was like an addict or something and just
See,
didn't care.
that's the line that made me go from, oh, this is about like metaphorically dirty,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah,
To, oh, literal dirty.
yeah.
That's the line that made me go like, oh, this is just about giving someone a cleaning them up.
Hmm.
I mean, it's a good song overall. It's
Yeah,
8
yeah.
out of 10.
I gave it 7 out of 10.
I did not connect it to the other 2 songs. To be honest, I didn't even connect the other 2 songs together because they felt kind of different.
And so I'm connecting it, and we'll talk. Both songs deal with talking about a 16-year-old girl,
Uh huh.
and in similar ways. So they're like linked to me in that way. And maybe Dirty Little Girl is about the same 16-year-old girl.
See, I think you're incorrect because we'll talk about All Girls Love Alice.
Yeah, track number 12.
Yep. It slides. Subject matter to the side. It fucking slides. Okay,
Yeah, very
it's a
much.
good fucking song.
Very pop rock.
I will give my rating right now. It's 9 out of 10 for me.
I gave it an 8 out of 10. Like I said, it's very pop rock, cool guitars at the end, super fun to listen to.
Yeah. I really enjoyed the fact that like during the verses, it is go go go, and then he kills the momentum of it to get into the chorus, which makes you feel like in the perspective of Alice, her life is go go go, and then she has to do some things in the chorus to where it goes back to like go 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 until the end of the song.
Mm-hmm.
And the way he transitions in the chorus and back in the verses is really nice. I like it a lot. For the subject matter of the song, though, it's about a lesbian prostitute.
Oh, is it?
Yes, 100%. How her age is questionable, but in the first verse, it mentions how she doesn't get along with boys, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it gets into the chorus where it or towards the end of the first verse and in the chorus, it implies that she starts sleeping with women. And at the end of the chorus, it's essentially sounding like women are calling her to do prostitute things before their husbands come home or all this stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as the song goes on, it eventually leads to her committing suicide,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm 100% sure this is about her being like a lesbian prostitute, even though she doesn't want to be. But this is like the only way she can make money, and there's like the only like comfort she gets with like individuals, even though she would prefer boys.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it ends in Alice killing herself. You got a trigger warning the first bit of this podcast. Which is probably why I disconnected this song with the other ones.
Yeah.
Just because like it is just a story of Alice, where in the previous song it was just a story about some grimy ass kid that Elton John decides to clean up.
That's fair. That's fair.
Which honestly, if it was any other artist singing that shit, I'd probably be a little suspect.
Yeah.
But Elton John likes boys.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's a good interpretation. Like, I didn't know All the Girls Love Alice was about a lesbian prostitute. I did not know about that. I guess I didn't. But then, like, I even looked it up as you were talking, and it says, like, once someone tells you what it's about, it makes more sense. And it's true. Once you know what the song is about, like, it makes a lot more sense in your head.
Like, yeah, the lyrics make a lot more sense because I thought it was fucked up and I was like reading it super hard during the song. But hey, it is what it is, I guess. It's a good song. Like I said, it slides. It's very, very good.
That moves us to track number 13 of 17. Your Sister Can't Twist.
Okay, so this one I vibed out, didn't take notes. I'll be real with you.
Yeah,
it's a solid old school rock song, man. It was like Elvis.
Yeah, this is to me his first dated song, and it's only dated because it is very 70s pop rock dance hall twist song.
It's Elvis.
Yeah. I had to explain, you know, some people don't know what Elvis
if they
sounds like.
don't know, nigga, we is black and we know Elvis. They need to know Elvis. And I'm talking more than fucking In the Ghetto, okay?
Bro, Elvis has been dead. People don't know Elvis anymore.
In a cold and gray Chicago morning.
But yeah, it's a good song. We kind of talked about it with All the Girls Love Alice. It's about him dancing with his friend's 16-year-old daughter or sister. I mean, nothing nefarious. I don't believe, if I remember the lyrics correctly. I didn't take too many notes. Okay, no, I guess it can be questionable how you look at it because he says, your sister can't twist, but she can rock and roll. Outbucks the Bronco on the rodeo. She's only 16, but it's plain to see she can pull the wool over little old me. Your sister can't twist, but she can rock and roll. Your sister can't twist, but she got more soul than me. Like, that's the chorus.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. How old was Elton John in the 70s?
2030s, somewhere in there.
Okay, I mean, it's still fucking weird.
And it could be as simple as they just went to the club to dance, or the girl convinced him to take her to the club and dance, and she just fucking killed it.
Yeah, true. Very true.
Yeah, it's a good song. I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I gave it 8.5 out of 10. Like I said, I was just vibing.
Yeah. Which moves us to another huge track on the album, number 14, and my personal favorite, Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting.
Yeah, dude, this thing is definitely my second favorite of the album. It's insane.
Yeah,
it's really good. It definitely deserves the popularity it has.
Yeah, it's classic for a reason.
It's probably better than my favorite, like overall for like commercial success.
Yeah,
and I understand why, because it's a little bit more radio friendly.
Mhm.
It's a little bit again. It has that classic rock feel, man.
Yeah.
Um, they have a like also along this whole album, he has really good instrumental breaks, and the song's no exception. Like I don't know, man. His sound, their writing, it's just really good.
Mhm. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's an earworm of a song,
Mhm.
100%. Like, I listened to it, I had to pause to go do something, and by time I got done doing what I was doing and was sitting back down, I was already, like, singing the song, and the song wasn't even over yet. I'm like, "Yeah, this is just a great catchy song, and it's gonna stick with you."
Hell
I
yeah.
gave it a 9 out of 10.
I gave it an 8.5 out of 10.
It's fair, it's fair.
Mhm.
Then we move to track 16 or 15, sorry. Roy Rogers.
Yeah, this was a big change of pace.
Mhm,
If you're listening to this and you don't like music that like kind of doesn't flow together, that's
mhm,
probably like the only downside of this album is it changes pace like boo boo boo. But this is like the only song on the album that you get like the ballad Elton John that he's
mhm.
I feel like more known for.
Yeah.
And goddamn is he good at doing that.
Mhm. So I
Uh
really sorry, go ahead. I'll let you
I
finish.
was gonna say, the only thing is like because of the whiplash you were getting, it kind of docked at some points because like I was really fucking with the fucking like rock theme he was going with towards the end
Mhm.
here.
For people at home, I just want to clarify something. The reason we cut out each other off, we aren't in the same room as recording, and we don't have cameras on, so we can't see the other person like gearing up to finish saying something or to see that someone else is trying to say something to like give a pause, and so
Yeah.
we cut each other off. So if you get ignored by that, annoyed by that, that's why we're not seeing each other as we talk. Uh, but I was saying, Roy Rogers and Social Disease's next song are probably the two most like social commentary songs that are still relevant today. So Roy Rogers is about escapism into TV, and like obviously the internet and stuff wasn't a thing, and the way that we use TikTok and Facebook and Twitter and Netflix and streaming and just relatively the ease of access of everything, uh the song still fits. It's still, that's what we do. We come home after a long day's work and you want to watch your shows, or you want to just space out on Twitter and then on your phone. uh and so, like, this is just a great song to remind you that escapism has been a thing forever.
Hmm.
And it just takes different forms.
Very true. Very true.
I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I ended up giving it a 7 out of 10.
Fair. Which moves us to track 16. I always messed that word up. Pan? You do it for me.
Penultimate.
Thank you.
I learned this word from watching lots and lots of fighting events. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah. Penultimate. I don't know why. Like, I want to say like pre-ultimate for some reason.
Yeah, that's because you're a silly goose, ain't you? Ain't you?
Mhm.
You're just a little silly goose. All right, but
uh,
yeah, social disease, man.
did you know, for
Yes.
people at home, that social disease is just a euphemism for STD, or sexual transmitted disease?
I don't know why you had to like clarify
Let's
what
say it out,
STD
yeah.
is. Like, I feel like anyone who's listening knows what an STD is.
But
I feel
yeah,
like if you 10, you know what an STD is.
but yeah,
Schools.
back in the 70s and 60s, like you say, if someone had STD, they had a social disease.
Yeah.
So
Wow. Did you know in this one, social disease is referring to alcoholism?
yeah. So that's his commentary on.
It's
Uh,
very clear that it's this song's about alcoholism.
oh yeah.
I mean, he literally is like, "Well, I get bombed at breakfast. I get bombed at dinner and tea. Like,
Yeah.
I drink a fifth of tequila. Like, dude, it's
Mhm.
crazy." But yeah, it's really weird because in the beginning of the song, it's much quieter than all the rest. Like, the quality seems not as good, and it
Mhm.
slowly builds up into the first chorus. And I don't know if that's intentional. I don't think it is. But god damn it, Elton John, you hurt my ears. Because I turned it up because I thought this song was just shit quality.
Yeah.
like they forgot to remaster it or something.
Mhm.
And then it got real loud real quick.
But yeah, back to the social commentary. Like, so obviously, like you said, a song about him being drunk, and I think he kind of like harps on like it's okay for me to be a drunk, but if you're promiscuous, you kind of get shunned in society. And I think it's just a commentary on that. Like, and he talks about that sort of things all the time about how people's sexual orientation or sexual freedom seems to offend people more than things that should actually offend them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Overall, I think it is a good song. Interesting message that he portrayed.
Yeah.
Interesting approach that they decided to go with.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, I gave it an 8 out of 10.
I gave it a 7 out of 10.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Up to you. You get to introduce the final song.
Okay, we'll discuss this afterwards. How we're gonna work on that because anyway. So, the final song is Harmony, and this particular song, has a very, very interesting feeling given off right away because it feels like the last song.
Yeah.
It is a really good closing track for the final, for the album.
Mm-hmm. And it is a concert favorite to actually be the final track.
Yeah, it is just super nice. It, like I said, it gives off the feeling that this is coming to an end, not in a bad way.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, yeah, this sounds like a song that ends something.
Yeah.
Um,
I didn't know much about the song, and I didn't look like. I think this is one where I didn't read the lyrics, and so like I thought it was a song about like kind of like him thanking his fans for like always coming back. It's his 7th album, always coming back, and it's also like a song about how he like just as much as he needs you or you need him, he needs you, and so like it just plays into the harmony theme of the song. I could be wrong. That could be not what it's about at all. It's just how it felt to me listening to it.
yeah, no, it just feel like I said, it feels like the end of a song.
Mm-hmm.
He has a uncanny ability to let you get lost in the songs.
Yeah, 100%.
And just in the feelings of them, and you don't even need to like hard pay attention to the lyrics to enjoy them. And if you do pay attention, there's usually some interesting story being told or
Yeah.
whatnot. And this was one of those songs that I did kind of check out of.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's just a good song to vibe to end the album. Like I almost listened to this fully throughout. I think it took a 30-minute break at one point to work on something else. And yeah, it was super nice. It was a super nice ending.
I gave it a 7 out of 10.
I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. With
Overall,
that being said, go for it. God damn. God
really bad
damn.
today.
I have a
overall,
plan.
I'm sorry.
We'll be better.
Overall, I really enjoyed the album. I'm glad to have listened to a full, like, worked album instead of just his like greatest hits.
Yeah, it is nice to see how he did it.
Gives me a different view of him as an artist and just how talented he really is. And for the ratings, I broke all 3. The median was 8. The mean was 7.44. My personal score was 7.5.
I hate that. Don't ever do that again. Anyways, I gave it a 7.8 out of 10.
Nice.
Thank you. I think your rating was nice as well. Only one of them, though.
Oh, okay. Which one?
Whatever one you like best.
Oh, okay. I'll go with the 7.5.
Because there's some people out there, including me, who get medium and mean confused, and you kind of fucked me up.
Well, that's a median and a mean, since you're doing mean now.
I said there's people who don't know the difference, including myself.
Well, they should listen to last episode where you explain it for them.
Well, maybe they should. Please. Please. Oh, I need money.
We need fans. We need everything, guys. We need you, just like Elton John needs you.
I'm not showing. We're looking pathetic.
But you know what they need? You know what they need? A shout
No,
out.
Randy, you know what they need? A shout out from you. I'm gonna
Nah,
put
dog.
you on the spot, dog.
done
You
this.
every day you put me on the spot.
Well,
You know how hard it is to
started
come
it,
up.
dog.
You know how hard it is
started it.
to come up with this every single day, and you just like throw it in my face, like, "Hey, remember that? You can't forget one time. We can't forget one time. I even came prepared today, but you know what? You know what? You're on the spot. Give
Shout
me the
out.
shout out.
Shout out to everyone who still follows their favorite sports team, even though they lose every chance they get, and it drives you insane. And being a Minnesota sports fan is the worst thing in the world.
Okay, shout out to everybody who can watch sports and keep enough emotional control to prove that you're actually an adult.
That's just rude.
I feel like you calling out all the Minnesota sports fans and speaking for them.
I get angry at video games. There is no difference in me getting angry at
Hold on, pause. One, I can control what happens in my video game. Two, you also get angry at your video games. So that makes you a hypocrite saying that.
Yeah, I'm an angry boy.
Three, just watch the sport, enjoy it, and root for a different team because apparently the ones you root for lose. So maybe you should start rooting against them so the team they're playing loses, and then you reverse psychology the universe. But you never thought about that. Why? Because you're in such emotional distress, you can't even think straight. You can't even think about how you outplay the universe, which is a skill issue, honestly. Anything to say to that?
I'm never making you a birthday food again.
Anyways, thank you for listening.
Thank
you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, anywhere you listen to podcasts, anywhere you can, see faces and follow us. Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr.
Yeah.
Probably
Pinterest.
Truth Social.
Yeah.
Stimulus, yeah. Shout out to Stimulus, sponsor us. Let me win a contest, please. And yeah, man, thank you for listening. It's been a great time. Elton John was a fantastic experience. I recommend it to anybody. Forever.
So, until next time. Have a great day.
Yeah, goodbye.
Deuces. Thank you for listening to Hypothetically Sound. We hope you enjoyed the episode. All episodes can be found at hypotheticallysound.podbean.com, as well as on Apple, Spotify, and Pandora. For full unedited video versions of the podcast, please visit us at youtube.com/hypotheticallysound.